Hello everyone and good evening. Welcome to Immortal Type. Today we have a universal tarot reading for you and we're going to get started now. So let's do first thing first. Start with seeing which card from the Mind of Humanity deck out of 11 options will be overseeing the reading for this evening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mercury. Mercury is in charge overseeing this reading, also known as Hermes, responsible for communication, travel, promotion of self. Very good when it comes to writing and speaking, representing number 5. Okay, let's dive in, and we're going to do 5 shuffles for the sake of Mercury. Let's start with 1. Let's take a look at the cards. The Moon and the 4 of Cups. I'm going to concentrate on this, as yesterday the cards went flying off the table, which is great. Keep Mercury over here on the side just for now until the shuffling is done, as it tends to slide around on this wooden table. Hermit, and there's the 4 of Cups. Shuffle 3. These cards are extremely flexible, which is great. You don't even have to reverse the shuffle to count the counter for the bend of the card. The Tower and the Hermit. And we're going to do one more shuffle. Hope everyone's doing well. Just remember, this universal reading is designed for you to take advantage of the energies of these cards, the pathway that it presents as you see it. So regardless of the date, this message is for you. I'm just going to make a quick adjustment here to the camera, just because it's a little bit, not going to get away with that. There we go. Well, we'll see how things go here. There we go. I like to have it uniform, as you can tell. Okay, there we go. Let's do a knock-knock here. Clearing the energy. Going to ask that this wisdom serve the highest good of all involved. Make sure that they're upright. And now we're going to start shuffling. Let's do 3 5s. 3, 4, 5. There's one round. And one more for good measure. First card of the day, Ace of Cups. This is an emotional new beginning, planting seeds. This could also indicate the beginning of a relationship, romantic relationship. As you can see, this cup is overflowing, falling down into this area where you see the beginnings of lotus flowers sprouting. It's a very positive card to start off the day. Mercury overseeing. Okay, let's keep going here. We'll get into more details in a minute. 4, 5, 2 more of these. And the last one. 8 of Wands. This is the second fastest card in the deck of the Tarot, aside from the Chariot. It's an indication that whatever's coming from your wishes that get planted in the Ace of Cups, as it's a new beginning. Anytime you have an ace, we're talking about a new beginning. So whatever's happening with that, the message for manifestation is happening quickly. Let's see what else is going on. Let's get some clarification. And one more round here. Third card of the day is the 5 of Coins. This one's often misunderstood. I say this every day. However, the 5 of Coins, it indicates that 2 individuals may be left out in the cold. You'll hear that a lot. The real truth behind this is that they are carrying something of value away from a situation where everyone is involved and focused their attention on something material within a particular group. These two representing the divine feminine and divine masculine. It's the active and passive based on color. Red is active. Blue is passive. They're in union. And as you can see, we have the man wearing blue and the woman wearing red. These energies are energies. It doesn't mean that masculine needs to be male and feminine needs to be female. These elements exist in all human beings, and there's a balance coming here. And obviously someone's struggling to get to this end goal. However, once they reach there, there's going to be something of value to come from it. Let's find what it is. 2, 3, 4, 5, asking for clarification on this 5 of coins. Well, it's the Knight of Swords kind of blasting through everything, unsure as to what the final goal is going to be. There's a need for the Knight of Swords to get some direction. And so the Knight of Swords is receiving message of whatever's coming from these two folks from the 5 of coins and is now racing in the other direction, either blasting through enemies. It's usually an indication that your enemies are kind of getting thrown to the side. Imagine just a knight on a horse charging through whatever forces that are there. It's happening fast. Okay, let's see the last card. And this is already manifest. This is already a representation of the past. So let's take a look and see what the final result was from our most recent efforts in life. 2 more. Almost fell out there. It's not 1. If it's 1 card, usually I'll pull it out. Not in this case. 4 of Cups. This has to do with preoccupation with family. Something with family is going on. That's where your thoughts are. Let's just get this a little bit nicer on the camera so we can see things clearly. Yeah, right there. So it's an interesting, I always use that word. It's a revealing start to our day with the tarot reading. Mercury's coming in and guiding with communication. And of course, for the Ace of Cups offers the querent, you, the receiver of this divination or prediction, the opportunity to really plant some beautiful new seeds, knowing that they're just going to be sped along. And something's happening with this. There's an offering coming in from the Ace of Cups. If you look more carefully, this offering from the Ace of Cups is coming in, and the individual's got his arms crossed and seated, focused on those 3 cups in front of him, not paying attention to that which is being offered. So it's something to keep in mind. It may be that the Ace of Cups is not the offering that the person wants, but how crazy is it that that's what we have here at the beginning? So this offering has come in, sped along. Whatever you're involved in, everyone was saying, hey, you're left out. We're not going to include you. And they're like, okay, that's fine. We got this secret and we're going to move this direction. The secret could be the Knight of Swords saying, whatever opposition you have, I'm blasting through it now. What it's led to is the Ace of Cups saying, hey, remember these seeds you planted? Have you forgotten about them so soon? And the 4 of Cups, the individual here, says, yes, because I'm focusing on family. Okay, let's move into the present moment. Find out what messages are in store for us. 1 more here. Justice. By focusing on family, instead of the romantic offer, one facilitates change in the way where you receive a balancing of the scale. True redemption for the concentration on that which is most important, which is family. Any service to family is the greatest service you can provide in this life. Just know that. Let's keep going. And 1 more. The Hermit showed up in the shuffle. This is a very cool card. A lot going on, even though it looks like not much is. The Hermit represents a lighthouse. So if you look at it that way, you'll see the light in the lantern has a star in it. See that star? That's the star, Major Arcana number 17, which represents wish fulfillment. And the Hermit is not looking at that power, simply holding it up so that the light can be shined towards those who are looking for guidance, while working on one's own individual self. So this is a meditative internal process that's happening. It's an indication that you should be focusing on your meditations and that which you want to bring into life, especially if it has to do with justice. So if you feel you've been left out in the cold and something wrong has happened to you, then justice is coming so long as you work on the meditative process. Let's see what's at the center of this reading today. And we'll do one more round. It's the Chariot. Wow. Sometimes I have to take a step back. It's the fastest card in the deck. It represents abundance. This character in the Chariot is not of royalty. When you're dealing with the kings and queens, you're dealing with royalty. This is not royalty. This is a person that comes from no bloodline of remembrance, just an individual that has been fighting to get to this point where life is finally in balance. And you have this with the masculine and feminine energies. The Chariot represents abundance, strength, wealth, and recognition. And also the ability to blast through the opposition very fast. It's the fastest card in the deck. So whatever it is you're looking to achieve as far as your own individual justice, it's coming. And it's here. And it comes through direct meditation on that which you desire to come into this life. Let's see what comes from a result of all of this attainment. 2 more. And once again, I'm doing 5. I've done 2 rounds. I'm doing 5 shuffles because we're here blessed with Mercury's energy today, which has to do with commerce. Let's do one more round here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh, yeah. 6 of Wands. We had this yesterday. And this is the homecoming and victory. Also a collaborative effort. It's definitely being recognized for stable achievements in who you are and the work that you've put in. Okay, let's see what the end of this is. It's just a big celebration that comes from the hard work of focusing on that which is most important to you internally, which is family. So family's the focus. Okay, let's see here. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more. Oh, we're going to take it. King of Wands. Okay. King of Wands wanted to come and be part of this today. The King of Wands never wanted to be a king. That's the story. You never wished to be in a position of power, but you are, as a result of all of this work. So the King of Wands has been chosen by others, and he's adorned with this cape that has impressions of salamanders and also the lion's coat is there. And this is a person in a position of power that is managing it because they have to, because they were chosen, not because they ever wished for it or wanted it. The King of Wands would much rather have everything be a lot simpler, but for now, he has to sit on the throne. And look at how it's juxtaposed with the homecoming. I would say it's, obviously this is for the querent, but look at the way that the messages are pointing towards one another. There's communication going on between these cards. And the chariot's just looking straight ahead, as is justice, looking right at you. Bottom of the deck. Oh my God. Sometimes I get so moved by these cards. The star represents wish fulfillment, total wish fulfillment. And we had talked about this already. I'm not going to remove the card because I don't want to see what's underneath it, because this is the bottom of the deck. This is the portal. This is the portal. You want to look at all of your wishes that may not have been fulfilled, Write them down again as if they are real. And we talked about this yesterday. Using verbs in the present tense. So the verbs you want to focus on and concentrate on here are to have and to be in the present. So I have and I am. And we talked about this light. This light, let's put this down on the bottom of the deck card here. Okay. This light right here is the light that we have coming from the Hermit, his lantern. Okay. So this is the light of the star. And the beginning of this is wish fulfillment. So the only way to spark wish fulfillment is through meditation. And the beginning of this practice, it starts with wish fulfillment. So I think of Walt Disney. The theme song, "When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come true." It's something like that. It's the idea that you think about something that you wish to attain, you experience it as if it is real in your mind, and it comes true. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what your origins are. Everyone has the same opportunity. Take a look at the crown. Do you see that? Right on the pineal gland. Access to the star. Is this coincidence? You could say that about the tarot, and you'd be remiss not to acknowledge how magical this process is. Wish fulfillment is here. It's happening no matter how you look at it. Why not make it perfect? By focusing on that which is most important. Family. Serve them. Be kind to them. Reach out to them. Tell them you love them as many times as you can in a day. Because at the end of the day, you want to be with them, you want things to be good, and you want wish fulfillment and love. This doesn't mean that you won't have love, that you have to choose between the two. It simply means that the focus is on family, and what it leads to is justice. That's the road that's paved for you today. Justice comes from meditation on that which you wish to bring to light. It happens faster than any other time in your life because of the chariot. Homecoming, victory. King of Wands didn't want to be in this position, but was chosen. Now let's take all of the definitions from Marseille, based on what I've said already, and see how they align. Perhaps you will find the message that you need if it hasn't come already. All right. Let's start right off the bat with the star. It's a major arcana number 17. And when we're talking about the major arcana, we're talking about cards that are superior in strength and power. Always. There are only 22 in the deck of 78 cards. Okay. Here's the star. Right here. Openness, simplicity, a return to nature, purity, honesty, showing yourself as you are, accepting one's body and desires. Generosity, be generous. Remember, the more you give, the more you receive. Leads to luck from heaven, intuitive feeling of guidance or energy coming from a higher plane of existence. Flow from a pure source. The purest source that you will find in this lifetime is love. So focus on it. This is the portal to your wish fulfillment today. Next, we move into the Ace of Cups, starting right here with the beginning of our journey. These are elements that have already been put in motion and are already working as far as manifestation goes. Ace of Cups. This is the beginning of a love relationship, like I said. Expression of warm feelings or romantic longing for something extraordinary, emotional and spiritual growth. This is where we begin. And I had said before about the Eight of Wands being that which brings things with great speed into your life. It's not listed in that way through the Marseille, which is the manual that we're reading right now. This is what it says about the Eight of Wands. Regulation. It says, it is possible to advance only by following the rules. Occupation with short-term goals while losing the long-term perspective. A roadblock. Okay. So roadblock came in. It already happened. And whatever romantic offering, if it materialized or it didn't, there's still a roadblock. And that's okay. It's supposed to be leaving us here in the cold without being part of the celebration going on inside or the warmth that's existing. Everyone's celebrating. And some could be thinking about how you're not involved and perhaps be happy about that. That doesn't serve anyone. And that element of yourself is just the past. So let it go. Make that part of your meditation. Know that no one's out to get you, but you do have something of value that no one knows about, and you've already carried it through to the point where it's now going to manifest and come to fruition. Exciting news. Let's read more here about the 5 of coins. The 5 of coins indicates to the querent some form of disruption. Something new appears. You've arrived and you've destabilized an existing structure. A new element gets attention, but it also awakens resistance. You'll see some fight, some pushback. That's what I meant to say. Okay. When there's pushback and you have the support of the Knight of Swords, you're going to run them over. So whatever it is, it's going to come through the practice of meditation, which I'll talk about more in just a moment before we finish this reading. Okay. Knight of Swords says you have the energy now and the resources to advance, but you're still looking for the right direction. We saw this yesterday. You're hovering over practical constraints, and you have determination and perseverance. This was in the second row yesterday, if I remember correctly. Sometimes I don't remember exactly, but I do remember it being in the second row. And now it's pushed back into the past, which means we're moving forward. We're moving forward, and we're making gains in that light. Okay, so we know that. Let's take a look here at the 4 of Cups and see what Marseille says. I already mentioned it. Family. Could represent a collective of people, like a community, with a history and a sense of belonging already. And now you're making commitment to that group. And it's also at the price of giving up personal interests, things that you may have wanted to do or continue doing. You're going to put them aside in order to be part of this collective. Well, the good part about this is it leads to justice. So it's a good decision. It's a wise decision to separate yourself from or to detach yourself from these things that are the norm, routine that you've been doing, to focus your efforts on something that has to do with a group that has now accepted you. And it could be family, could be a part of it. It leads to justice. Okay, so justice appears here as the major arcana number 11. However, it relates to number 8 at times in the major arcana, which is also strength. There are elements of strength and justice in both of the cards. Here's what it says about justice. Law and order, legal and court issues. This is going to be in your favor. If it is in fact something that you're dealing with legally, it's in your favor. Okay? Good to know. Law and order, legal and court issues, a fair and balanced judgment, a developed conscience, rationality, reasoning by clear rules and common norms. A touch of grace comes in, a touch of grace and humanity beyond the objective considerations. And the main message comes in, act with reason and by the accepted norms. This has come in twice. So whatever's going on, be more reserved in the way that you are, not as if you've been harsh before. Perhaps you should integrate a little more love and understanding. And the way to do that is just wish the best for everyone, especially if you find yourself in a position where you may be at fault or feel like you're at fault, even though fault really doesn't exist. It's illusion. As we are all perfect beings, we have lived in a world of illusion for so long that we tend to feel responsible and at fault for things that are happening. That's not the case. Remember, everything is a result of your own thoughts, feelings, and convictions. So take responsibility for that as you play the game of life and act with reason and by the accepted norms for the sake of those that are in your environment that are part of this new group that you're a part of, so they feel comfortable and accepted and part of this process that you're bringing into play, which is a whole new perspective. Okay, speaking of a whole new perspective, that comes through meditation. Next, we have the Hermit. And what's really wild about this is it's card number 9 in the major arcana. It comes right after this. It's a quest for truth or for spiritual understanding. You're concentrating on a clear purpose, exercising caution, careful examination of self, self-privation. You're isolating yourself for the sake of a meaningful cause, and you're showing loyalty to certain principles and a strong faith. It says, look for the essence of things, the real intention behind things. That's where you want to be looking. If you do that, well, I'll tell you, we'll take a little step back here. How about that? Major Arcana 7 is the Chariot. So we literally have 7, 8, and 9 right here in sequence. 1, 2, 3. I mean, it's 8, 9, 7, but all the same. You know, you got the lottery numbers here, folks. They're all here on the same ticket. Here's what it says about the Chariot. Victory, or an achievement, putting the querent in a strong and protected position. So you are the querent receiving this divination right now. This message is for you. You have a victory or an achievement that puts you in a strong and protected position. From that comes ambition, energy, and motivation to move forward. Where there was confusion before with the Knight of Swords, it's no longer there. You have all of the motivation to move forward, and it comes with this public honor and a position of power and high status. It says to dare and win. Okay. As you dare and as you win, it leads to the 6 of Wands. And here with the 6 of Wands, we have even more good news. Once again, it's talking about collaboration, a strong alliance between two parties with different goals but common present interests. So it may be that this group doesn't believe in the way that you believe, isn't interested in the things that you do, may not like the fact that you're dealing with the tarot, but understands that the message is just as powerful and just as necessary for everyone. So there's a strong alliance between two parties with different goals but common present interests. And you're developing a taste for luxury made possible by these favorable conditions. So you're now being presented with favorable positions. Okay. This leads to the King of Wands. And like I said, it's a king that doesn't necessarily want to be in this position of power. It's not something that he sought out or she sought out. Whatever the force is within you or between others that's led you to get to this role, it's not something by choice. It's assigned to you. And the King of Wands speaks of a mature attitude to urges and desires. You're controlling your creativity and you're prodding your own self to make a move forward, investing present assets in a future project. And we have Mercury that's overseeing all of this. Mercury is the planet of communication, commerce, and travel. The journey begins here. Take this time to effectively promote your projects and goals. See the world. Get out there. Explore it. If you've been wanting to travel for a long time and you know you've needed to and you haven't, what's the best way to get that affirmation moving? Buy the ticket. Once you buy the ticket to travel, there's no going back. Make it a few months in advance, 3 months, 6 months. You'll save money on the ticket. And as you save money on the ticket, you will also be positioning yourself in a place where you now have a goal where you can set everything up. The hotel, the place where you're staying, the accommodations, what you're going to see, the sights. Or if you just want to go out there and make it spontaneous, you could do that too. But the good news is, once you have the ticket, there's really no going back. There's only cancellation, right? Why would you do that to the energy? Well, you never know. Okay, so that's the reading for today. Extremely fortuitous. And the Mind of Humanity card supports all of this. The communication is in place. It's right here. The communication is going to come from Mercury. Let Mercury assist you. Just surrender. Let Mercury do the talking for you. He has no problem doing it. He, she, they. Mercury is androgynous. Mercury is a god and envelops both the masculine and feminine equally. You see this, the snakes, Ida and Pingala. It's the caduceus. And Mercury is in line with this. And you see this big coin, right? So just keep this in mind, that Mercury is backing everything that you do. And Mercury doesn't take on any form unless you provide thoughts for it to formulate a form. You have to provide thoughts and feelings in order for Mercury to work with it. The one thing we didn't do is read the Ace of Cups, I think, too carefully. I also want to read the affirmation for the star. So just a review. And this is more for myself than anything else. Just to have clarification. Just want to go over it again, even though I know I've mentioned some. It says here, the beginning of a love relationship, expression of warm feelings, romantic longing for something extraordinary, emotional and spiritual growth. Okay? This is coming from the Ace of Cups. All right, and then the star, lastly. And then we'll end this reading for today. If you are just joining us, if this is the first time you've been here, please hit that like button and subscribe. Costs you nothing. And if you are playing this game of life, you should understand that you get what you give. So give something for free in order to receive a lot in return. It's great. It's the way to do it. Okay, so we already read this, but the star says to flow from a pure source. The purest source is love. So start flowing from that source. If you can't love, you can do what I do at times. I have a guru that's extremely important to me. His name is Satya Sai Baba. Anytime I feel that I am overwhelmed with a situation, I take a deep breath through the nose, and this is how you do it. Deep breath in. Sip in more air until your lungs can't take any more. Hold it. Exhale. That's going to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. Start to bring calm to your body through the increase of oxygen that's being absorbed in your bloodstream, removing impurities and bringing in a sense of calm so that you can retain the information that has come to you today. And what I usually do when I feel overwhelmed is I do that breath and I say to my guru, Swami, please handle this for me. I'm asking for you to handle this for me. I don't wish to react. I don't wish to respond. I want you to handle this. And the more you do that, and you offer up whatever overwhelming feeling that you may have to the divine source of creation, which is infinite, the infinite handles it infinitely better than you. I'm saying this to myself, being a human being in a mud body that has limited ability. If my abilities ever seem extraordinary, it has nothing to do with me. And this is the same thing with you. You're in flow, and combined, you're activating the source energy within you. Okay, so we talked about the King of Wands being at the end here, not wanting to be in that position, but he's there all the same. And everything is in alignment with you now. So now that we have everything in alignment, let's start distributing the wealth. 1 for Mercury. Let's do this right. 1 for Mercury. 1 for the Ace of Cups. Mercury wants me to, there we go. 1 for the Ace of Cups, 1 for the 8 of Wands, 1 for the 5 of Pentacles or coins, 1 for the Knight of Swords, 1 for the 4 of Cups, 1 for the Portal, the Star, for wish fulfillment, 1 for Justice, pointing at the scale already, 1 for the Hermit, 1 for the Chariot, let's put it right there on the crown, right there on the crown where the star is, 1 for the 6 of Wands, and 1 for the Knight of Wands. And for those who are chiming in here to view, from now on, if you would like to have something enhanced for yourself, just remember we have 4 more pieces of gold to go around. I'm going to decide that this has to do with wish fulfillment. I'm going to put 1 with the Chariot, and I'm going to put 1 with the Star. Ooh, and it leads to Justice. Let's give 1 to random. Okay. And 1 more goes to family. Okay. Now, with Justice, we're going to go around and see if any more activity happens. Yeah, what's going on here? Okay. May all of your wishes be fulfilled. May this abundance be yours. I offer it with my right hand now for you to receive. As you receive it with your left, be grateful and be sure to share. Be sure to share this wealth, because the wealth that you receive in life is a result of service, and it's meant to increase your service area. May all your wishes be fulfilled. Thank you for watching. My name is William Vincent Carleton, and it's been a pleasure serving you today with this divination from the Tarot, which is in honor to Pixie Smith, the original illustrator of the Rider-Waite. She was a magical human being and is a magical spirit that is embedded in these cards and always will be. This is in honor of you, Pixie. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening.